In this video, we are going to learn about the logical operators. Logical operators, you can say, an extension for the comparison operator. The comparison operator basically compares only one thing. But sometimes while writing the software or writing the program, you may need to compare 2, 3, 4 or more different things at the same time. At that time, these logical operators come into picture. For example, just think of this simple life situation. Let's say you want to compare whether your height is less than your friend Alice's height or not. That's a simple comparison. Now think of a little bit complicated situation. You want to check whether your height is less than Alice's height. Also, you want to check whether your height is greater than Bob's height or not. Or you can add more friends and you can check them. So in that way, so this type of you can combine 2 or 3 different comparison together using these logical operators. So there can be mostly 2 different type of combination. One can be AND type of combination and the other is OR type of combination. What does that mean? So for example, you can think of the simple situation that, okay, whether my height is less than Alice. So let's write down this way. You can think like my height is less than Alice's height and my height is greater than Bob's height. Like this. So both of them you are checking, comparing both the things. Also, you can do something like, let's say, my height is less than Alice's height, or my height is greater than Bob's height. So these are very simple English statement, right? So you are checking that in this case, you are checking whether both the things are holding true, means both these comparison are true or not. And here by saying or, you are basically checking whether one of these comparison are holding true or not. The same thing happens in the programming also. The meaning of this and or are same in the context of programming also. Just in order to define it formally, we can draw a simple table. So let's say my height is less than Alice's height. We are noting it as this entire comparison, we are writing it as X. And let's say this entire comparison, this my height is greater than Bob's height, we are writing it as Y, something like this. So now what will happen is, so let's try to do the result. What is happening? So let me change the color of the pen, that will be helpful. So here let's say the comparison is X, then you have the comparison of Y, and then you are checking whether the value of X and Y, and here you are checking X or y. Just remember, x means my height is less than Alice's height or not, and y means my height is greater than Bob's height or not. Simple. Just in order to save some space, I have just used this x and this y. So now what are the possible values of x and y? They can be either true or false. You all know the comparison operators, right? So let's write down all the possible combination. X can be either true or false. So on the other hand, y can also be either true or false. So if I just do like all the different combination of x and y, what can be done? So x is true, y is true, x is false, y is false, and then it can be like x is true, y is false, and x is false, and then y is true. So these four are the different combinations. Now, for each of these combination, we have to find the value of this x and y, and then x or y. So just think of what AND does. Just think of the usual meaning of AND. What are you checking by saying AND? You are basically checking whether my height is less than Alice's height, as well as my height and Bob's greater than Bob's height. Both these conditions hold true or not. That's exactly what AND operator does. So if both the comparison value hold true, then it will hold true. Otherwise, in any of the case, if either of these operands are false, everything will be false. Clear? So that is the meaning of AND. Now, what is the meaning of OR? Just try to make an English sentence out of it and everything will be clear. Here what you are checking, whether my height is less than Alice's height or my height is greater than Bob's height. So if either of the comparison is true, then the value will be true. So only it will be false if both the operands are false. Otherwise, if either of them are true, it will return true. Like this. So this is the meaning of and or, and these are the two different types of combination. Now these things can be extended not only for two different comparison, but it can be extended for 3, 4, 5, 6 or hundreds of different comparisons. And the meaning of not is very simple. It will just negate both the things. Not x, for example, not x means if the actual value of x is true, not x value will be false. If the actual value of x is false, not x will be true, something like that. And the same way, the not y is also like that. If the actual value of y is true, then not y will return false, and if the actual value of y is false, then not x will return true. So this is all about the logical operators.